Hi, Gemini. How you doing? How's your August? How do those eclipses treat you, man? Mine have been pretty intense. New gateways opening for everybody, right? Right? You can get with that, right? Right? She said, eyeing the room shiftily. All right. Let's see, Gemini. Let us see. What does Spirit want to tell you for August, for your highest good? What are the characters, influences, energies? What are you bringing to the table in August? What does Gemini need to know, Spirit, for their highest good? Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising. Wow. Okay. Gemini. What do they need to know? Wow, Spirit's just throwing out your cards like this, and they need this, and they need this. All right. Okay, Gemini. What are the lessons? What are the influences? Goodness. And there you are, Gemini. Nice. All right, all right. Gemini. Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising. What do they need to know, Spirit, for their highest good? Their highest good. Gemini. What's the energy, Spirit? What are the messages, influences, perspective shifts, advice? What do you want to give to Gemini this month, Spirit, for their highest good? Gemini. Gemini. One more, please, for Gemini in August, Spirit. All right. Good, good, good. Pretty good stuff, Gemini. You've got some conflicts you're dealing with, but I feel like, for the most part, a lot of you are going to be feeling like you come out on top. Feels like there's a little bit of self-study that needs to happen here. Okay. The Hermit kicks off your reading, Gemini, and the Hermit, you know, we joke nowadays about hermit mode and stuff like that, and, you know, being an introvert, and it's actually going to be really important for you to refill your tank this month, because as sociable and as exuberant as you are the twins, Gemini. You have the side of you that is gregarious, and then you have a side of you that really needs time and replenishment, you know what I mean? And I feel like in particular this month you're going to be feeling a little bit challenged. As I said, there's a little bit of conflict, there's a little bit of disagreement. This is like small, okay? There are cards for big fights and there are cards for little fights. And this is little stuff. This is like, for some of you, Spirit just said arguing with your roommates, which is no fun, let's be honest. Like, even if it is small, it's like, oh, nobody wants that. But look, here's what Spirit is saying about that. The Hermit followed by the Five of Wands. So looking within and then experiencing an outer challenge, right? And then comes this awakening, judgment, big decision being made this month. And for some of you, like, and here's where I'll say, Gemini, please, you know, these are general readings, so don't freak out if something I say is like, what? Like, no way, everything is cool, how could that happen? If everything is cool and this next message doesn't resonate with you, then don't worry about it. Or if it doesn't apply to you, then it probably applies to some other Gemini, okay? But Spirit is always going to come through with what is for our highest good, what is most needed to be said in the moment. And for some of you, I feel like that whole, the thing that they said about, like, some of you, this is an argument with a roommate, it may be like, okay, you know what, I gotta figure something out, I gotta move out. Like, this doesn't mean that all of you will be doing the moving this month, but some of you will be like, all right, you'll make that internal commitment of like, in 3 months, I'm out. Like, I start looking tonight, or I start looking tomorrow for like a new place or a new job, because there is some kind of disagreement that I feel like Spirit kicks you off with the Hermit, saying, look within. And then when that challenge, that Five of Wands presents itself, that is to say, like, Spirit is trying to give you a wake-up call with an external representative for your internal bullshit. And I say that with love. Like, please know, if you haven't been here before, please know, Gemini, I curse like a sailor, so that is said with total love. It's not a judgment of you. It is to say that if you are, for example, saying to yourself day after day after day, like, I hate this job, I hate this job, I hate this job, I hate this job, and then, you know, you go to work and you have this coworker that is just like in your ear and really annoying. Maybe they're not even like openly hostile to you. Maybe it's just like you just find them really annoying and they're just yapping at you all the time. Please consider that Spirit might be putting a fly in your ear because it's like, you're not supposed to be here. You're done here. You're moving on. And that's really a message that they're driving home, is that for some of you, it's like, this is a wake-up call, right? Followed by Strength, which is another card of looking within and recognizing how the outer stuff is just a reflection of the inner stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, please, Gemini, that does not mean, like, if you're experiencing crappy or bad circumstances on the outside, it's because, like, you just have a shitty perspective and, like, that's all it is and you're creating. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that only by looking at how we might be undercutting ourselves or hurting ourselves or sabotaging ourselves, you know, as they say in like Alcoholics Anonymous or those kind of programs, the first step is recognizing that you have a problem. If we go on blithely pretending that there is no problem, then we never have the awakening, which leads ultimately to this victory. Well, we'll get there in a second. Because first, after the awakening, comes the reckoning with ourselves. This lion represents those qualities inside of us that we consider to be wild, Gemini, out of our control. Anger, lust, obsession, rage, depression, things that we can't control, and things that are not meant to be controlled. They are meant to be listened to and understood with compassion. Don't get mad at yourself for feeling depressed. Don't get mad at yourself for feeling afraid. Give yourself compassion. Look at yourself and really have like a moment with yourself, an awakening. Sometimes, you know, you ever have one of those, like, I'm totally like gonna like take my clothes off right now, but like, you ever had one of those talks with yourself in the bathroom mirror, Gemini, where you're just like, dude, what are we doing? What's happening here? Like, and you just talk to yourself. Please have one of those. If you never have before, have one. You might find it to be I would be surprised if, as a Gemini, literally the twin thing with the mirror, that just seems like something you guys would do. I'm very clumsy. That's what this is about. Okay. Sorry, I saw it wiggling in the camera. Okay, so that little come to Jesus with ourselves leads to this. Recognizing that we have put a lot of love and time and effort into something, but it's time to go. If we are to grow, this guy's carrying a lotus blossom. If we are to experience our full evolution, the full like breadth of our abilities and the things that we can enjoy in the world, then sometimes we have to turn our back on the small pond. And that's kind of what they're giving me, is like big fish in a small pond. So a lot of you Geminis are big fish in small ponds, and like, you know it. And you know that like there is something greater that you're meant to be doing. What follows that? You're not a page, you're not a knight, you're a king. And you can be a woman and be a king of swords, or you can be a man and be a queen of swords. It's not about gender, it's about the kind of person. And the king of swords says to you, Gemini, like, you're at the top of your game. You know you're smart. You know you have what it takes to do what it is you want to do. What fires you up and makes you feel passionate. You have this idea. And you know, swords are air and wands are fire, and air feeds fire. You have a brilliant idea, and if you put your analytical, smart, quick thinking self behind like this kind of raw energy, where is that leading? the victory that we talked about. To you getting recognized. There is some kind of applause coming to you this month, some kind of big recognition. So for some of you, this could be something like a review at work where they're like, thank you so much, you've done a wonderful job. Or for some of you, this is like going on stage and giving your bow and getting applauded. For some of you, this is presenting your work or your project or your art and people literally giving you applause and accolades. In one way or another, you are going to feel like the fight and the walk away was worth it. Okay, so I really want to, like, because after those, this is a beautiful spread. You have two cards of like toughness and having to like take a leap of faith and walk away in order to grow, like a recognition of like old habits and situations that are stagnant and no longer serving you, and maybe they once did, and that's part of why it's so hard to walk away. But you've recognized that it's like, if I'm gonna spread my wings, I need a lot more room. Okay. I know, wings, big fish in a small pond. We're all over the place with the animal metaphors here, but we're coming back to the fish for a second. Because following your victory, here is good news. Here is a happy invitation. The Page of Cups is somebody piping up and being like, hey, how about this? Surprise! Like, come over here. Let's do this. How about this? Like, very encouraging, positive, sweet messenger. Has a lot of hope. This person might be younger than you, or they just have like a very exuberant attitude, and they like their joy, their excitement, their enthusiasm is infectious. And like Spirit was giving me that big fish in a small pond. I hadn't even looked at this yet to realize that I have the cup, you know, the card with the girl with the fish in her cup. Someone wants to help transport you, big fish. This Page of Cups is going to give you a message or an invitation. This is something that probably comes in from a long distance, like a text or an email or a social media post or a DM that is like, hey, how about this? Whether it's invitation, idea, confirmation, collaboration, somebody wants to help you get out of the small pond and into a big pond, better fitting of your kingly nature, okay? And there is no rush. Use August, and I feel like by the end of August, you're going to be meditating on your options. Make some quiet time. I'm going to show you your final three cards, just how they pop up together, because they're all very, they work together beautifully. Four of Swords says, take your time, take space, peace and quiet, literal meditation or prayer, and that is echoed here in the High Priestess. And in the middle, the Two of Pentacles is a shift, adaptability. Specifically for some of you, I'm feeling like you need to shift your money around. Like, oh, let me pay off this debt. Let me move this money that I was going to spend on this thing over here. Let me invest it in this instead. Or let me save it so that I can quit this damn job sooner. I got to admit, the job thing is popping up for a lot of you. Flexibility, adaptability. Quiet wisdom and minor adjustments. Those are these cards. Both the Four of Swords and the High Priestess say, be cool, man. Be cool. Like, play it quiet and low key, because you're gonna know what to do when it's time to do it. The like inspiration or the sort of like moment is gonna present itself where you're like, okay, I know what to do. But only if you allow yourself that time for like peace and quiet and reflection. So if you meditate, cool. If you pray, cool. If you don't do those things, that's cool too. Do you take long baths where you can like clear your head and just let your minds wander? Or do you journal? Or maybe take like a long walk outdoors? What is it that helps you really clear your mind? And it's like a mental exhale, okay? Because we're doing a lot of input all day long, media like of all kinds, and like social media, watching TV, watching YouTube, haha. And you know, even like reading and things like that, like we're always taking in info, especially you, Gemini. And that's why it's imperative for you to get some of that Four of Swords, like, let me just be in the silence for a minute. And then, oh my God, I need to do this. Okay? Trust. Like, this spark needs air. It needs room. It needs space and time. Remember, like I said, air feeds fire. So give this thing air. Give it space and time to breathe and grow. And you know, what Spirit was just showing me was somebody doodling in a sketchbook. And they were showing me like somebody kind of doing like these long wiggly lines and just like seeing what they turn into. Do that. Whether it's your thoughts, your words, your sketches, let your stuff just kind of doodle. Oh, I don't know exactly where this is going, but I'll just go with it and see. And then it's going to be like, oh, that's what I've been meaning to create. So let your mind wander, okay? Give it space and time to wander, Gemini. Don't be research and stuff and media, awesome. Just leave yourself a little time and space, and I guarantee you something is going to pop up that is brilliant, okay? Okay. So now, let's look at your Fiercely Focused spread. And if you haven't been here before, Gemini, this is just a quick 5-card spread to cap off your reading, where I pull a card for like a theme, an archetype for your month, something for you to either embody or be aware of for your highest good, along with the action steps that you want to take when it comes to earth, air, fire, and water, i.e. money and finances, thoughts, words, creativity, and love and relationships. So, what's the theme for Gemini in August, Spirit? What do they need to know, be aware of, or embody for their highest good this month? The message is always what helps Gemini live their best life and reach their highest good. Ha! Sorry, just shrieked at you. But you can't make this shit up. High Priestess, Spirit, doubling down. Play it cool. Play it cool. You're gonna know what to do. Even when those conflicts present themselves, King of Swords, play it cool. You're smarter than this. You're better than this. There is a way out of this. Allow yourself and your intuition the time and the quiet and the space to speak to you. Fear and anxiety and like ambition all speak in very loud voices. They will shriek at you if they need to. Intuition pretty much always speaks in a whisper. Pretty much always. And it's not to piss us off. It's to get us to get quiet and to get reverent, okay? So let your intuition, let your creativity speak. Maybe you do something like, just for the month of August, institute yourself a different little night routine where, you know, maybe an hour before you bed, you turn off the screens, you put your phone on airplane mode. I know, this is crazy talk, especially for a Gemini, but just maybe. And you meditate, or you take a long bath, or you journal, or whatever, to create that space and allow some things to kind of take root and then spring up in your mind. Some of you might be picking up some tarot cards this month or doing some other form of divination. With the High Priestess coming up at the center, that is a very good thing for you to do. If you don't do it yourself, maybe you want to go get a reading from somebody else. And then they just popped up with your next card. King of Pentacles. Okay, so you came up as the King of Swords. So the King of Pentacles is somebody in your sphere, and Spirit is saying this person is a craftsman. Could be a woman, craftsperson. But this is somebody who you consider to be at the top of their game. They make good money. They do their job very well, or their craft. This person can help you. This person is very grounded. This person is very generous. This person is a hard worker. And they can help you kind of, you know, I'm about to butcher it. I don't want to butcher, so I'll just paraphrase that Thoreau quote. It is okay that you've built your castles in the sky. Now it's time to put the foundations under them. The King of Pentacles can help you put the foundations under your castles in the sky. So have your big High Priestess dream, okay? And then get this person who is around you who knows their stuff to come in and help you put the foundation under it, okay? Okay. This person's awesome. This person's a great advisor. They could even be the boss who is offering you like the new job or the yes that you've been waiting for. to do something really cool, to do something that, like I said earlier, is more befitting of your King of Swords status than the Five of Wands kind of crap that you've been dealing with, okay? Big win coming. That King of Pentacles can help you with that win, get those accolades. All right, so now let's look at swords. Let's look at what's going on in your mind, what kind of messages, communications, or people of the... Sorry, that was Spirit totally talking. Some of you are dealing with a water sign. That's what they were interrupting me to say. Okay, beautiful. Ace of Swords, victory, breakthrough, understanding, honesty. You had the Ace of Wands, now you have the Ace of Swords, clarity. Coming to new clarity about things, and I feel like the King of Pentacles, again, plays a role in that, but it's also just your High Priestess and Four of Swords, like, I'm just gonna be with myself and ask myself, what do I feel about this? And then just let yourself answer. Like, if you get too wrapped up in your head, let your body answer. How does my body feel when I think about making this choice versus that choice? And just quietly, you know, observe and see what it does, and trust the intuition. Like, trust that little voice that speaks, okay? You're getting clarity this month, and I feel like you're getting a new opportunity, and I want to show you a little Easter egg hidden in the tarot cards. These 6 little sparks, these 6 little flames dancing around the bottom of the sword hilt, they echo and foretell the 6 flames of the victory of the Six of Wands, okay? They're both wearing laurel on top. Laurel is for victory. You're gonna win. You can have this breakthrough, okay? Be clear with yourself and be clear with other people, and you can have a breakthrough. What are your intentions? What are your desires? You can have it. All right. So now, let's look at your heart, your feelings, your emotions, and relationships. What is it that you need to know when it comes to how you're feeling in the month of August? Could be family love, could be romantic love, friendship. What kind of emotions and experiences do you want to highlight for Gemini in the month of August, Spirit, for their highest good? Ha! Very Gemini card. And oh! Sorry, I'm sorry to Johnny Carson right then. That was not on purpose. This also is the card that I think of that Thoreau quote with. So that must have been why they were giving me that like earlier, okay? This card is about building castles in the sky. This card is about we can get very lost in our dreams and never put the foundations underneath them. Do not have so many dreams and so many aspirations and opportunities presenting themselves, Gemini, that you don't pick any and that you let all of these cups grow stagnant, okay? That's the danger. The 7 of Cups comes right before the 8 of Cups when everything has grown stagnant. You want to think about what you really want, clarity, right? Ace of Swords, get that advice from the King of Pentacles. What would I be good at? What do you think? Would this be a good idea? Let them help you choose the cup. And I love that again, we were just talking about the laurel, and then here's another laurel wreath showing itself to you. More victory that is possible for you, but only if you focus, only if you really drill down and choose a path and work toward it. Multitasking is bullshit, okay, Gemini? I know you're good at it. I know, and it's very tempting. And especially nowadays, we're all addicted to our cell phone, and it kicks off that dopamine of like, let me look over here, and let me look over here, let me look over here. Like, hard to stick to one thing. But once you listen to your intuition and it tells you what thing is going to be good for you to work on, please pursue it relentlessly. Okay. So finally, let's look at what's lighting you up. What's charging you? Wow, Spirit threw it right out. Oh my God, sorry, that's a good thing. Victory, 6 of Wands, again, another laurel wreath. Some of you guys are like winning competitions, getting jobs, winning accolades and of some kind, okay? So it's like, are you starting a YouTube channel? Are you putting your art out there? Are you winning a competition? People are noticing and liking what you are bringing to the table, okay? So get clear. Take your time, get clear, Choose what your priorities are and then pursue them relentlessly with a little advice from the brilliant and pragmatic King of Pentacles, who can help keep that King of Swords air energy of yours, brilliant ideas, grounded in the earth, okay? Make them into reality. He can do that. Or she. Whoever your brilliant business or money pragmatist person is around you, who you trust, okay, when it comes to advice about career, resources, and hard work. They're going to help you out. Big, big breakthrough available to you this month, and you don't have to rush. In fact, you want to make space and time, and then that will help you make the decision, and then you can take an appropriate course of action. Super excited for you, Gemini. This looks pretty freaking amazing. 2 High Priestesses, 2 Six of Wands. Pretty good stuff. I'm excited for you. If you have questions or comments, or if you want to get a reading, all my info is linked below, and I would love to hear from you in the comments or on social, wherever you feel like it. Thank you for being here, Gemini. I really hope this helps, and I hope I see you next month. Bye.